What's up, YouTube? I bought two electric bikes from Costco. One's got to go back, the other one's staying. Here's my review of both. All right, here's how this whole thing started. Okay, my wife, she's been looking up one of these bikes. I got the two bikes. She's been looking up the Proform Le Tour de France CBC. Okay, so she's been looking that up from Costco, okay, as an alternative to the Peloton. Okay, this thing is way better in that instance because you don't need a subscription to run the thing. All right, it can run with or without a subscription. Okay, and she's been looking for this at Costco for a long time, and every time we went to Costco, they were out. Okay, so we kind of gave up on it, right? But then, so we looked up this. This just appeared on the Costco website. It's brand new. We didn't find any reviews for it whatsoever. Okay, so what we ordered was the Proform 505 SPX. Okay, so we ordered that online, and it was delivered to our house. A few days later, we get we show up at a Costco, and she sees the Tour de France. So we end up buying both of them. We're going to return one of them. All right, I'm going to go ahead and, for the record, get this off my chest. I am not in any way an expert cyclist. Okay, I am brand new to this. This is my first electronic bike. Okay, but all I can do is tell you the difference between the two things that I have in front of me right now. Okay, I will compare them based on the specs that I see before me. All right, the first category I'm going to tell you about is called the setup. Okay, there's not a ton of difference between the two. Okay, the only main difference, I mean, it takes about generally the same time, but the Tour de France, okay, if you want to talk about more work, there's a little bit more work. Okay, there's a reason for it. Okay, this electronic device right here. Okay, there's a wire going through this bar right here. Okay, and going through the bar right here. Okay, and as you know, you have to, every time you connect this to that, okay, you have to connect a little wire to each other. It's like a male end, female end. You connect the wire, so there is a connection down here. And the reason that is because of this magnetic device down here. That is your resistance. Okay, it is a magnetic bicycle. The closer that thing gets to the wheel, the more resistance there is, the harder it is to spin. Okay, and that is all controlled through this control device right here. Okay, so the wire needs to be connected. Okay, this one, the other one is external. Okay, so it doesn't go through the bars. You can see that little wire on the outside right here. Okay, so it's slightly easier to set up, and you definitely see, it reads how fast it's going. Okay, there's not a direct magnetic resistance. You can't control the resistance through up here. Okay, that's controlled in a different way. So if you're talking about setup, okay, you want to talk about the winner of the setup, it's easier to set up the S505 SPX. Okay, that one is the winner. That one takes the cake. All right, the next category is looks. Okay, appearance overall. Okay, if you want this thing to stand out, right? If you want to look like you got this nice little toy almost, if you will, okay, then I'm definitely going with the Tour de France. Okay, Tour de France has this interesting painting on the wheel. Okay, it literally says Tour de France on it. I'm not sure how well you can see that, but yeah. Okay, it's bright yellow. I mean, it's yellow on the wheel. Okay, big bright writings. Has some yellow right down here by the pedals. Okay, has some every connector, every part where you tighten up is yellow. Okay, so if you want something that stands out, this is the right one. If you want something that will blend in more with the house and you don't want it to stand out too much, okay, you got much more black and gray on the Proform 505 SPX. Okay, this is a lot more neutral colors. Okay, it doesn't pop as much. Okay, and it's much better for blending into like a house or it doesn't stand out as much. It doesn't look almost like as plastic or as much like a toy. Okay, you got these knobs right here, all red and black. Okay, they don't stand out too much. They let you know they're there, that they're not like all in your face. Okay, so if personally, I prefer something that doesn't stand out that much. I would go for the Proform 505 SPX. All right, the next thing I'm gonna compare are the handlebars. Okay, it's not much of a comparison because they're very relatively similar. Okay, on the Tour de France, okay, you have the handlebars right here. Okay, and it almost looks identical. And it's not much. You got the little arm hoop right there, which is equivalent to this right here. Okay, as far as comfort, they're relatively the same. Okay, there's not much difference as far as one versus the other. They both come up about the same height. Okay, so I don't have that much to say about this, but yeah, this one definitely has more of an upward angle to it, okay, versus this, but not much. Okay. So it's a tie. Okay, this one would definitely be a tie as far as handlebars. What I'm talking about next is the pedals. Okay, then you put your feet on. Okay, you definitely need some shoes for this one. Okay, it's made of metal. Okay, it definitely looks like it belongs on this cycle. Okay, it will hurt your feet if you try and do this barefoot. Okay, it is not the most comfortable thing in the world, so definitely get some type of shoes on. Okay, yeah, made of metal, looks specifically designed for this bike. This is the Tour de France. Okay, when you look at the other one, okay, the 505 SPX, okay, it's got a reflector on it for some reason. Okay, this one looks like it was like straight up like taken from a bike, like a generic bike. Okay, I don't know why there would be a need for a reflector. This one's made of plastic. Okay, it is, I believe, when you're barefoot, more comfortable, but again, don't do these things barefoot. The strap is about the same. Okay, the belt, I mean, this is literally the same. It looks like the same piece. Okay, not much difference there. Okay, just, you got a plastic pedal, which looks like it was taken from, I don't know why it needs a reflector, okay, in case you're doing this in the dark. But yeah, overall, when it comes to pedals, the winner goes to the Tour de France. Okay, Tour de France. Okay, now we're comparing the seats. This is the Tour de France. Okay, again, so it's a minimal design. I got no complaints about it. Specifically, you got the adjustments right here. What is that? You can spin. How do I do this? There we go. You unloosen it. You loosen it like this. Twist it back. You can move it back and forward to however long your legs are. I got some short legs, so I need it right up front. Okay. You can also adjust the height. Okay, like that. Pull it out, and then this unlocks it, and then you pull it out and then adjust it like that. Okay, so then to tighten it up, so you can't pull it out again, straighten it down like that. For the 505 SPX, okay, it's a lot more simple. Okay, you don't need to, actually I think it's adjust, loosen. So it's the same design. You gotta loosen it and then pull it out. Okay, you pull it. I can't do this with one hand while holding the camera, but you pull it out and it will raise up and down. So you twist it to loosen it. Okay, then once it's loose, then you can pull it out and adjust the height. Okay, and tighten it up. So it's relatively the same design as that one. Okay, it's a different looking knob. Same type of deal. Loosen it, and you can slide this back. You have to pull it. Yeah, this one's an extra step. Okay, loosen it, and then pull it down. Okay, and it will slide back and forth. I can't do that with the camera in the hand. Okay, seat's a little bit different. Okay, it's got a little slit. Okay, forward. I would personally find this seat slightly more comfortable from my experience on it. Okay, so winner of the seat for comfort goes to this one. One of the last features we're going to talk about is the pad, the tablet holder. Each one of them has a tablet holder. Okay, this is the one for the Tour de France. Okay, this is the tablet holder. And there's one problem with this, as you can see. If you put the tablet on, you cannot see the digital display that it comes with. Okay, it totally blocks it. So in order to access the Proform, or to access the digital, the resistance, okay, you would have to take off the tablet and plus, minus, etc. So you got the tablet right here. Okay, the tablet goes and does not obstruct the view of the little digital thing. And this, for the most part, counts your calories, counts your distance, okay, and does not affect your resistance. Okay? So yeah, that's again, when you put it on this one, okay, it does not affect. It does not block the screen. So the edge, again, when it comes to the screen, okay, goes to Proform 505 SPX. All right, last and most important, functionality. What is it like when you're actually pedaling on the thing? Okay, right now this is set up as far as the best it can be for me, okay, with all the adjustments that I just shown you. Okay, but right now it's about how does it work? How does it feel when riding? Okay, feels pretty good, not gonna lie, it is pretty comfortable. But my biggest problem, if you can hear this right now, is the noise that it makes. This is, it uses resistance rather than magnetics. Okay, so it is kind of loud, but the resistance is with this dial right here. It is all manual. Okay, so I turn it to the right and it's supposed to increase the resistance. I keep doing it and I think it's, yeah, it's, you gotta twist it a lot. There's no set like resistance as far as like, all right, set it to resistance 16 or set it to resistance 10. It's just go until you feel that it's resistant enough for you. And I'm still twisting. There's no cutoff. It's just, yeah, it just gets tighter and tighter. Yeah, there is a cutoff, okay, at the very end, but you gotta keep twisting to get to that point. Right now it's at its maximum, and it's pretty good. It's pretty difficult at its maximum. You still hear that sound, okay? It's all friction. It's like applying a brake to it. Okay, so I'm gonna release this, okay? Again, the two things for me, okay, are the resistance, and then it takes about 10 seconds of non-stop twisting to get it to its fullest resistance, and it's manual. And the sound that it makes, okay? You definitely hear as you spin the wheel, okay, it is, you can hear the brake, the resistance brake that is actually touching it, it's friction. Okay, so that is the SPX, 505 SPX. All right, so far in this video, this one is winning. Okay, I've given the props to the seat. I've given the props to the, not the handlebars are a tie. I gave it props to the design. Okay, this one is essentially winning right here, the Proform SPX, 505 SPX. This is where this one takes the lead. Okay, I know there's more features that I give this edge to, but this is all about it. First off, listen. I know it sounds loud here in this small, narrow room, but in a much larger room, you literally can't hear a thing. Okay, but this is as loud as it's gonna get. Okay, it's way quieter, way smoother. You don't hear that sound of the rubbing because this is magnetic. Okay, the resistance on this thing is magnetic. Okay, so I can up the, what's it called, resistance digitally. Okay, you click up on this magnetic digital, or this digital pad, okay, and it raises the resistance. It brings the magnet closer to this flywheel. Okay, and even though there's more resistance, it is still quieter, and it raises it almost instantly. Okay, that one I had to twist for like 10 seconds to get it to the full resistance. This one, I click up to level 15, and again, I am working like crazy right now. Okay, so the level of noise this thing makes, okay, is definitely superior to that one. Okay, this one's magnetic as far as the resistance. That one is friction. Okay, this one is quieter because there's no touching unless you brake. The brakes are the exact same. You push down if you want it to stop. Yeah, and that's the only time it's friction. Okay, so overall, okay, the way the what is it called? The way the losing my mind. The resistance works on this one, and the silence, the quietness of it, brings the edge, brings my choice to this one right here.